Welcome to this new chapter of the Enterprise Data Show. Today we're going to have a very, very, very sweet use case. You're going to see how you can enrich in real time at scale with only a business email. Enter into your CRM all the LinkedIn data so your business team can take action immediately after that. I know that it's a big, big problem, and it has been a big, big problem for years. I experienced myself as GTM, engineer at Stacksync, and helping our clients, like it's a really, really painful thing to do. So today we're going to solve that. And in a very simple workflow, Ruben is going to show you how you can implement this for your specific use case. So I want to welcome Ruben, our co-founder and CEO of Stacksync. Welcome, Ruben. Please show us how we can build it. How can build the magic here?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, like, as you mentioned, right, we see a lot of our clients which actually have this problem of getting accurate enrichment from LinkedIn data into their CRM. And today I'm going to guide you through actually how we can actually use Stacksync enrichment to enrich your CRM with LinkedIn data at scale on your specific use case with a very simple 3-steps workflow. And eventually, just like give you ideas on how you can build for you. Today, we're going to use HubSpot for our use case. So we're going to use HubSpot for enrichment. And I'm going to have a fully scalable architecture. So I'm going to share my screen right now. So please confirm me if you can actually see my screen in the next 2 seconds. Here we go. Alrighty, cool. So you should be able to see my screen right now. Exactly. So here, basically, I have my HubSpot CRM, and everybody knows how it works. It's a very similar architecture for HubSpot, for Postgres, for everything, right? And so I have actually my Stacksync. And so in my Stacksync, I already created a sync between Postgres and HubSpot. Right? So actually what this enables me to do is that I have actually all my CRM data exposed into my database, as a table. So because Stacksync powers real-time and bi-directional sync between your CRM and your database, any modifications that you make in HubSpot will automatically update into your database and vice versa. So for example, here, I'm just going to create a new record with Ignacio at Stacksync.com, which is actually your email, Nacho.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
I actually create a contact. So note that that the ID is not here yet. There is no mail, there is no name, there is no nothing. So now if I go to my HubSpot and I just actually refresh this page, I will be able to see actually that now I have Ignacio at Stacksync.com actually being here. And so if I just preview here and I just put maybe, let's say, I'm just going to open the record itself and I just modify here. I put like Nacho, right? I just save. So now I make an update in HubSpot, actually. Now, actually, my data, the name will also propagate here into my database. So now if I refresh, I should see Nacho, right? So actually, I really have this real-time and two-way sync, which is really extra powerful. And so we can see here, that I have like LinkedIn headline. I created a few custom fields which are relevant for my business, such as LinkedIn headline, LinkedIn URL, LinkedIn number of connections, LinkedIn summary, etc., LinkedIn title, etc. So all of these fields actually are very hard to get enriched. How do I actually get HubSpot data? LinkedIn data into my CRM. Well, that's very easy. So Stacksync, we're going to create Stacksync also powers workflow automation. And in a workflow of 3 steps, we're going to show you how to get LinkedIn data, prepare the data, and insert this data back into your CRM in real time. So for example, here, go ahead, Nacho.
I want to highlight something very relevant here is that your reps, your sales reps, or anyone in your business team doesn't have to switch windows. The only thing they are going to use is HubSpot. So they can create in HubSpot contacts here, or they can like create cookies for HubSpot to detect new signups, new people that join a webinar, like download their gated content, whatever is going to be rich under the hood and scale.
Absolutely. And this pipeline is fully generic, right? So as soon as this is set up, it's going to work for people who, the sign up from your website, the signups from, webinars, the signups from gated content. If you have like a white paper, that people have to register to actually download, is going to actually be on maybe even like linked to a Slack channel that you actually get emails when you are at a conference. It's really like everything, or even like CSV uploads if you buy a list of leads. This pipeline will work for all of these use cases. actually create a different entry point for each of these. So how to actually create this, right? So the first step is actually to be alerted whenever there is a new lead which is created, right? So now actually because my Stacksync, bidirectional sync, sees my data syncing back and forth, in real time, I can actually say, well, Ruben, every time Stacksync sees a new record which is created or updated, table contacts, and the change comes from HubSpot, because this is where I create my leads most of the time. And, I have, an email is not null because, I want to enrich based on email. So I'd have to make sure, email is not null, right? Then trigger a workflow which does an enrichment. This is how easy it is, right? So here I'm just going to make like a few setups, just like really just make it super easy. And here, so email has to be not null. And, I have, because of my bidirectional sync, I just have to make sure, ID is a field that changed. Actually, I make sure really it's really only when my HubSpot is actually updated, or email is a field that changed too, right? So if my ID or my email changed, this means actually I have to be, I have my email, and I'm going to trigger a workflow for this. So Stacksync powers not only bidirectional sync, but also workflows. And now I'm going to create a new workflow into Stacksync, which I can access here from my sidebar. I'm going to say HubSpot lead enrichment pipeline, right? With LinkedIn data. This is exactly how it's going to work. So basically every time, data syncs between my HubSpot or my database in both sides, I want to have a trigger which triggers a workflow for real-time enrichment. So every time I create a workflow, I will have like a post trigger, which is directly set up for me. So here I'm going to say, okay, I want to receive, as an object, actually, so Stacksync will give me all the data which has been updated and the changes, right? So actually tell me exactly what changed into my record. So now I just make the saves, I copy my call request. So now if I just put this here, my trigger knows that actually it has to send, like all data related to the record and of the changes to my workflow. So at this point in time, we have a very simple setup, right? So here, the trigger is named Enrich leads with LinkedIn data. Actually, sorry, LinkedIn contacts. Enrich contact with LinkedIn data. All right. So now I'm going to create a trigger. So my setup is like every time a new contact is created or updated, I want to actually check. Actually, Stacksync will fire a trigger, and this trigger will fire this workflow and actually give us like all the, give us ability to actually go to LinkedIn and scrape all the data. So for example, now I'm going to make a quick test, and I'm going to put, my email as ruben@stacksync.com, right? So basically now what it's going to do, actually my Ruben is actually going to go to my HubSpot. So now if I go into my HubSpot, I actually go back. Now I should be able to see my Ruben contact. If I refresh, Ruben contact, there we go. And actually this trigger has fired up because actually it's so, okay, in my sync between Salesforce, between HubSpot and my database, I actually, so this data here, actually, like it seems here, like it's ID. Actually, I had like a wrong condition, and or email is a field that changed actually. So it's not because or email is a field that changed. So actually this did not. Actually, I'm going to delete this record to just show you exactly how it is when you create something. I'm going to create a new one called ruben@stacksync.com. All right. And so this basically should just go into Stacksync, be synced. Let's see if it cached up back the second thing. And now I should be able to see. It might take up to a minute to deploy. Okay, exactly. So now it fired up. And so now basically we have received in our workflow here, let's refresh. We can see that we have received actually like some data from HubSpot with, the email which has been created, etc. So now basically our goal, what do we have to do? We have to go to LinkedIn, get the data from LinkedIn, from this profile on LinkedIn, parse this data and insert it back into our HubSpot to actually enrich, right? So our goal is to enrich all the fields that we have: LinkedIn headline, LinkedIn number of connections, LinkedIn job history, summary, LinkedIn title, and LinkedIn URL, right? So actually you can actually literally enable your salespeople to actually just click, create a contact in HubSpot and immediately see, all of this LinkedIn data appearing, and click on the HubSpot link and directly go into their HubSpot. And for example, you can have so many insights, right? For example, say LinkedIn number of connections. Why is knowing the number of connections on LinkedIn important? Is because, for example, this tells you if a contact is active on LinkedIn or not. And so it tells you if you have to include this link, this contact into a LinkedIn campaign where you have LinkedIn messaging, etc., or not, right? I mean, LinkedIn is not infinite in terms of resources, in terms of API and a number of messages you can send per week. So you do not want to waste your quotas on leads which are not active on LinkedIn. That's why this is a very useful piece of information.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and this will let your reps like to prioritize on the leads that are more important, to have the relevant data. You can have pretty relevant data, and you can haze it with AI too. You can have the past companies that we're going to show you how to get them, and this will tell you like a pattern of your prospect. So this will help you increase the accuracy of your sales reps. So this is very important to get accurate and real-time data, right? So yeah, you can continue, Ruben.
Absolutely. So basically now I'm just going to show you how to literally create this very easy pipeline where, like, now we're going to go to LinkedIn with this Stacksync LinkedIn data. So Stacksync Enrichment. I go to Enrich record, right? And so now Stacksync actually will just enable me to go to LinkedIn and scrape data. I will use, so get LinkedIn contact profile. So now I'm going to say I'm going to reach a person. The identifier type is actually a business email. And the identifier value needs to be, just the email which I received, which is stacksync.com, in my previous contact, the one I created. And I want to enrich in real time. So I really get real time LinkedIn data on the spot, right? It's like the fresh data of today, right? So now I just save, and I just actually replace this. I actually just run this module, right? So what Stacksync will do now, Stacksync will just enable you to just go into LinkedIn, get the data. And so here you can see, now you can see exactly my profile. You can see, I worked in all of these companies. I actually, this is all my schools where I went. I went to Singapore. I went to Switzerland. I also worked in Germany. You can see all of this. You see I've been a guest speaker in several talks. You can see so many, you can see employer data. You can see the location of the person. You can see all the employer history. You can also see past employers. You can see, all my skills, right? You can see my profile picture as well, which is very nice to actually enrich. You can see, a summary of me and all this, right? So this is just about it, right? So actually now we get a lot of data, but we want to just clean this. So now I'm going to do a data aggregator, and I'm going to call it, format record. And this format record actually is going to be just a way I can actually enrich this data. So now basically I'm just going to create a small JSON which gonna filter out. So actually here I have prepared a quick code snippet which actually shows us how to actually with data we want to enrich, right? So here we have the ID, we have the LinkedIn URL, LinkedIn headline, number of connections, page job history, summary, and title, which are actually just the fields we have here in our HubSpot, right? In our database, but we can also see them here in HubSpot. So if I open Ruben, I can see, here I will be able to see all my fields. Where are they hidden?
Yeah, when you click on more, you're going to see
Here. Actually, I should customize my view. Actually, I just added these fields, but okay. Anyway, we can see here in our database, which is the same. So what can I do here? I will just go here. Actually, I just from get LinkedIn contact profile. So actually here, I need to update these ones. Alrighty. So I just update these ones because actually I'm going to pump data from these different elements. So that's it, right? I'm doing a bit of cleaning here. All right. So now actually we should be good. Actually, if I save and actually run this module, I should be able to see how my data will be output, as a very clean output just here. And here I see, okay, here I have my LinkedIn URL, I have everything, we can just check, that this just works. And so now I want to send this back into my CRM. So I'm just going to go, because this is a Postgres database, which I have it, because why do I insert my data from a CRM, into my database instead of directly with a HubSpot API? First of all, because a HubSpot API is very hard to use and you need to go through a lot of documentation and you have API rate limits. If you use Stacksync two-way sync, you will be able to actually just use a Postgres database or a Snowflake data warehouse or any database that you already know, love, and use every day. As a data scientist previously, I know exactly how to use a database. It's very comfortable for me. I can also do any number of updates. I can update this at scale with millions of records per minute. And this will not, clog the HubSpot API because Stacksync will do all the batching, the buffering, and needed to actually insert this as fast as possible into my HubSpot. So here, if I just go into Postgres, I say, okay, I'm going to do some update records. And once I have some update records, I'm going to say, well, update record in Postgres, in HubSpot DB, actually. So in HubSpot DB, I'm going to select my connection to my database. Table name, actually, I went back. So, okay, HS contacts, actually, I went back. Just going to reopen it. So it's HS contacts, right? So here I'm going to do it real quick. Postgres, update records in HubSpot DB. All right, HS contacts. I'm going to match it on the ID field. And here I'm going to add the record out of the format record, right? Okay. So whatever is in format record, my formatted record, I'm going to insert this. So now I'm going to be able to just to test it and to see actually the data which I had will land into my database. All right. So it seems it worked. So now actually, if I refresh my database, I can see here I have all my data enriched. So I can see, okay, Ruben has 10,000 connections right now. We have like buildings, the future of CRM integration. You can see my headline. You can see my LinkedIn profile. You can see I'm founder and CEO of the company. You can see all of this. And so now basically this is a programmatic way to do this. So now if I go to my HubSpot, like I can see, now I want to do this at scale, right? So now I want to say, let's say I want to enrich the name of several different people. So, like now I can just pull up a few different kind of email. For example, say I'm just going to put an email, which actually pre-saved before, for different, Dharmesh, which actually the founder of HubSpot. And, now I just commit from my database. And actually this is just going to be enriching the record, right? So now we can actually see literally it updating real time into our database. So here, if I refresh, I should be able to see Dharmesh appearing rapidly. Here we go. Here, fired up. All right. So now we have, okay, so it's already synced. So maybe we could go directly into the database, but here we can see it's already synced. And maybe if I refresh here, probably faster. Okay. Founder and CTO at HubSpot. And I can see, author of the book, I can see how many connections, I can see all of this, there's really a lot of things, a lot of elements I can have. And so now if I just paste maybe, let's say, another whole bunch of these emails, right? Maybe, I want to synchronize all of this, right? So I want to put maybe all of these elements, and maybe I can add also Mark Benioff, founder of Salesforce. I can send all of these guys. All right. So now I've sent like a few emails, and this can be any millions, right, of these, right? It's really at scale. This will actually just go back into your sync, just like go back to your HubSpot so you can see them. We can follow really the flow, right? We can see here all of these elements, Mecca Y Combinator, Atio, Supabase, and all this. Now I just refresh this, you can see everything has been fired up. You can see these guys here already. You can actually see now, you can see the processing data appearing just right here. Actually, they're already, and now you can see, you can see all of them has been enriched already. So what does it mean? Natural. From your GTM perspective, what do you think of this?
This makes the data operational, right? Like as soon as your reps have this information can take real action and prioritize their leads. Because if you create a lot of noise and you have received a lot of emails, but they are not enriched, you don't have actionable data. So this is very powerful. This is very powerful, especially if you have a lot of signups, if you're a product-led company, or these companies that receive tons of data. It's really, really helpful. Yeah, it's really good, really good. And then we can see like how is it updated on HubSpot in real time. And you can do like more crazy stuff on this. You can do round robins. You can assign and give priority for your sales reps, and you can content them immediately.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here you can see really like we have a lot of different data which appears. You can enable your sales rep to just click on this link, and just go into the LinkedIn profile. And this has just been done with like a simple workflow of 3 steps, right? A simple workflow of 3 steps and 1 trigger, right? So actually this is literally real-time LinkedIn enrichment. And here you can find everything about the person. You can also put like an LLM layer in between, an AI layer, which is going to summarize, the entire LinkedIn profile of that person, search for the right insights into this LinkedIn data, and actually send it back into your CRM with a personalized email, and enroll this person, this lead into a personalized sequence, right? So it's really extremely powerful in all the application you can have, because now we just took data from LinkedIn and put it into our CRM, but you can also enrich the data with AI and go even further with Stacksync AI and Stacksync agents, right? So this is where how far can Stacksync bring you? So I hope this was very useful. And yeah, actually, like, let us know. You can reach out to me to ruben@stacksync.com, or also Nacho if you actually have any question for us. This is somewhere really like where a very common use case is Stacksync now, to have accurate LinkedIn data right into your CRM and into your workflows automation to send all of this stack. And these workflows actually also work with not only HubSpot, but also PipeDrive, Zoho CRM, Salesforce, eventually also NetSuite, if you need to actually have this data into your NetSuite systems. And you have so many also front as a customer support system. You have everything every system you can think of actually can be integrated. So you can even send this data to Slack. So every time there is someone signing up, you have all of this linking data sent to your Slack channel. So the sales rep, are ready to actually fire up on that lead, and never let a lead go without being contacted and without having all this information passed into the sales rep. That was about the presentation. Thank you so much for joining into this webinar, and contact us if you have anything, and just go to stacksync.com to try it out for yourself and actually create a specific enrichment pipeline just for your use case in only 3 simple steps. In no code, no technical skills required. So have a great day, and thank you for watching.